Hey everybody! I think today will be a very simple, just the basics like what Gideon said, just teach the basics first. So I split it into two sessions. Today one we will only, if you can look at the text file that I sent, the OBS session 1 contents, we are only doing that few points. So how to add text, do transitions, especially when you're changing scene between like worship to sermon, stuff like that. And of course, PPT, very important for sermon, especially. Then of course the video itself, like the worship video and sermon video and other stuff. And audio, probably more for background music, pre and post service kind of thing. So just very simple points. All right, I think we can begin. So today we're going to talk about OBS. OBS is, I think, is very good because it's like completely free and you can run it on Windows and Mac. And you can do very, very amazing things with it. Let's dive into OBS. Maybe y'all can open your OBS Studio as well. Then we can just, if let's say we can do some stuff together, that will be great. So once you open OBS, if you're opening it for the first time, right, I believe it will prompt you, there's a dialog box. They will prompt you if you want to auto configure. You can press no for now because I will just guide you through all those stuff. So next, you can just click on Studio Mode on the right here. Then you will see two black screens split up like that. Okay, then after that, you can just click on this settings over here. Then make sure that only this thing, duplicate scene, is checked. The other two should be unchecked for now. Of course, you can configure them to your preference, but for now, we will do that first. So just click on Studio Mode, go to the settings, check only the duplicate scene. Okay, so now you can see, right, there are two screens here, left and right. One is called Preview, one is called Program. Okay, so this is the very important part when you use Studio Mode. I'm just going to explain the difference between Preview versus Program. To put it in two very simple differentiation, right? Preview is what you see as a broadcast engineer. So like if you are triggering stuff for the live stream, right, you're just called a broadcast engineer. Yeah, just to be clear. Then program is what your viewers see. So for example, today, maybe your family is watching the church service. They are the viewers and they are watching the program. Okay, in other words, what you can see does not equate to what is being sent out to the live feed over here. So that one you got to be very clear, because sometimes you see in the preview, right, you already send your PPT, you already send your sermon, you see there shock already, the sound also very good, but actually the program here is still a black screen, so the viewers, they are actually not seeing anything. So that one got to be mindful of that. So or can I also put it that in preview, this is for you to check your sources. So for example, maybe in a live situation, you have live camera feed. Like, so you can check whether, and maybe you have many camera angles, for example, maybe in the future. Then you can check before sending out to the program, you can actually check, is this a correct camera angle that I want? Then, or maybe PowerPoint, are you sending the correct slide? Or pictures, are you showing the correct picture for sermon, for example? Yeah. Then after that, once you are sure already, then once you're sure that is correct already, then you can send it to the live feed, which is in the program section. Yeah. Okay. So just take note of the preview and program thing. So let's look at this thing here on the left middle section. It's called scenes. So this part, if you all in the future happen to go and watch other OBS tutorials online, right? This part I work differently from how the other tutorials on YouTube do. So I know on YouTube, they like to, the different tutorials, they like to have many scenes. So for example, right, they like to maybe they like to have like one scene for worship, then the other scene for sermon, the other scene for announcement, the other scene for prayer, then the other scene for closing worship and stuff, many scenes like that. So I don't prefer that way. So what I do is I work everything within one scene. So I'm just gonna show you my scene. So for example, this church live stream, right, is all that I need for a regular Sunday service. As you can see, it's all lined up already. So I got my welcome slide, I got my pre-service PowerPoint, I got my prelude music, I got this worship leading, this sermon video, stuff like that. So everything is in one scene. So, but I know like people like to make many scenes lah. So one scene for worship. So inside only got worship video and worship PowerPoint, something like that. So maybe that's something you can consider as well. Yep. So this no right or no wrong, like just personal preference. I like to see everything that I have, like my whole rundown. So like I can be very clear lah. What's next in the sequence. So okay. So next time I can talk about, maybe in the next session I can talk about how multi-scenes will come in useful. So let's move on to sources, this area. Basically, after you create, oh, by the way, let's talk about how you create your scene first. Basically, it's this plus sign here. Once you click the plus, right, then you can just press OK. Then you will create your scene already. And you can just move the sequence item down from this arrow here. To delete, just press minus. Then, yeah, remove, stuff like that. Okay, so let's go into sources now. Sources is basically if you want to add different items, for example, your sermon video, your PPT, your music, your camera feed, etc. Everything will be done inside here. So I'm just going to go through a few sources with you. To add sources, you just got to click this plus button, same thing. So what will come in useful? I'm just going to go through those that I think is useful. Maybe some other time we can explore the rest. Display capture is, let me just show you quickly, is basically a screen share. Yeah, so like that. This is my screen now, right? Yeah, so you can see everything on the screen. Then image is of course just importing your pictures if you have. Then media source is where you add your videos and your audio stuff. Okay, so sermon video and worship video, you'll do it here. Let's talk about video capture device next. So let's look at this. Basically, video capture is this camera here. Or if you have external camera, it will use that. You can choose the input and stuff. So let's call it, for now, let's call it webcam. So you will see, once you open, right, in device, you can choose FaceTime. Yeah, okay, maybe this part y'all can do it with me because I can show some stuff. Okay, so basically just click the plus sign, then open video capture device. I believe if you have a built-in webcam, you can just select that under your device. For me, it's my FaceTime. Just select that. This preset resolution is you can just keep it for now. Okay, so you can see that in the preview, I can already see my own webcam. So the other thing we want to add is text for now. So for example, normally I do the welcome slide, right? Like welcome to church online or something like that. Welcome to CGPC. So what you do, right? Okay, let me do it again. So also you can add this also. Just go to the plus, click on text, and just type a heading for it. This is not the actual text that will come out. It's just a name for you to recognize that it's a text source. Yeah. So just click on that. Then you can, when you type here text, then it is the actual text that will come out lah. So I'm just gonna say hello, something like that. So just type something there so that you can see. And once you scroll down, after you type, you can choose your color lah. So just play around first, something like that. Then once you are ready, you think the color nice, the text is nice, just press OK. Then you'll see that it appears here very small. Just go to the end of the red box, just click and drag it up. Okay, so next step will be, after this, right, you realize that, why my webcam, my text haven't filled up the whole screen, still got all these empty spaces. Well, very simple, you can either click here and drag. Another way, you can just click here, right click, go to transform, and just click fit to screen. And then you see, fill up the whole screen already. Okay, so just try that out. So same thing for the text. Right click on under your sources, go to transform, then fit to screen. Then you will fill up the whole thing. So normally what I do is after fitting to screen, then I will slowly adjust. Maybe my text is too big, right? Then I just slowly adjust using the red box, the corners, then I just drag it around. Okay, so let's go back to sources. You can see this lock thing here. This is actually for once you are sure that that is your final position, then you can click on lock and click on lock as well. So you realize if you move your mouse over preview, right, you cannot actually track anything around already. Yeah, nothing will move. Everything is locked in position. So if I actually unlock my text, right, from sources, you see that once my mouse moves over the preview, the blue box will show. Then you can drag it around again. So once you are sure with the position, just press lock. Then it will be very safe. It won't move. The only time it will move, right, is when you actually go right click and click transform. Then you press one of these options. If I press this, then it will move. Yeah. If not, if your mouse goes over preview, you cannot actually drag it. So it's quite safe. Okay, so every time you already set the position, you don't want it to move, just remember to click lock lah. That's a very good and safe practice. So the other thing beside the lock, right, you see this eye icon here. Okay, this eye icon is basically to see and unsee. So once you click away the eye, right, let's say my text source, I click the eye. Oh, you realize that in the preview, it's gone already. Or let's say my webcam, I click away the eye, then it's gone already. So remember that after you input your sources, right, you got to turn on the eye. Default is turned on already lah, but sometimes you will turn it off. Then so just remember to turn it on, then you will see the source already. When it comes to having only one scene, layering is very important. When layering meaning the way you arrange your sequence. So for example, now my welcome, my text is above my webcam, right? I put it above. That's why you can see this hello word over here. If let's say I decide to move my welcome below my webcam, let's see what happens. You cannot see my word. You cannot see the text already. Yeah. So this is where layering comes in very important. Let me just add one more text to show you. Okay, so now you can see, okay, let me just enlarge it. So transform, fit to screen, something like that. Then you just drag it and lock. Okay, now you can see that my text, which is this high, is on the highest, on the most top level. So it won't be covered by my webcam or my welcome. It will be always on the top. That's why you can see it. So let's say if I move my text down below my webcam, you cannot see it already. Okay, so just take note of this. If you work everything within one scene, layering is very important. So you gotta move things around sometimes. So next point will be, let's talk about this transition here. This middle part that you see, transitions. I think your default should be cut, fade, and fade to black, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, of course I changed mine already. Basically this transition, right, is to the way you're going to send it out from your preview to your program. So for example, let's say once I click on cut, you can do this as well. You just click on cut. Okay, you realize that your whatever is in your preview is sent out to your program already, right? So there are many different kind of transitions lah. So you realize if you press cut again, it doesn't go away, right? Because your preview is still showing. How you want to make it go away basically is to click, turn your eye off, then you press cut, then it will follow. Yeah, stuff like that. So if you on just your text, maybe, then you try another one, maybe try fade, then it will just fade in. Yeah. So this timing here, right, you can set over here. So let's say this is the timing, like how long it takes to fade in, how long it takes to fade out, stuff like that. So let's say if I change my fade timing to only 100 milliseconds, then it will be very quick. So once I press fade, right, very fast go out, which is too fast, I think, for me lah. So I like to set it to 400, which is just nice for me. Then you just, once you turn on the eye, then you must press fade again, then come in. Okay, so these are the transitions to go between your scenes. Maybe now on the preview, right, you already finished your worship segment, okay, and you want to go into maybe sermon or maybe some Bible verse first. So what you do, right, you can just turn off, let's say this is your worship, right, just turn off your worship, turn on your Bible verse, and you can press one of your transition tools. So for example, I'm going to try swipe now. Yeah, then you just swipe in like that. Okay, and how you can customize this area here, right, is by this thing here, scene transitions. You can click new one, so you can try slide, stinger, fade to color. So basically once you click already, right, for example, I want to add a fade to color, you just press OK for now. Then okay, the settings you can figure out yourself. Then quick transitions is where you can add it here. So fade to color over here, then you will add here already. Yeah, to remove, very easy, just click on this arrow here, remove, that will be gone. Okay, very easy. So now I am going to move on to PowerPoint. How you are going to do PowerPoint from OBS. So now you can open up the material that I passed you. Maybe you open up the first one, pre-service loop. So pre-service loop, normally I just use this pre and post service lah. So you see this PowerPoint, right? How are you going to actually send this to OBS? Let's go to OBS. Let's add a new source for now. Basically, it's called Windows Capture, window capture. Basically, it's also something like a share screen. You know how in Zoom you share screen? Once you click share screen, you can either choose desktop or like individual windows, right? So you can just share your Google Chrome window. You can just share your some video, the file window. Don't have to share the whole screen. So it's the same concept here. So just click on window capture first. Then you can just call it pre-service PPT or something. Then we can work from there. So this one, right, there's nothing to select yet. What you need to do, let me show you a wrong way of doing first. So just go into slideshow. You realize that once you go into slideshow, right, it covers your whole screen. So you cannot go into OBS. You cannot toggle between OBS and this PPT itself. So what you need to do, right, from slideshow, click on setup show. Then you click on this browse by an individual. Okay, just click on that. Then once you do that, then you can start again, click again from start. Then it will actually show up in a window. Then this is how you can go back to OBS over here. Okay, wait, and you close this and open up again. Okay, if it doesn't show, you just press cancel, then just double click on the source again. Then under Windows option, right, just select this one, the PowerPoint slide. Then how you differentiate, right? You see there's two, pre-service loop, pre-service loop. How I differentiate is you need to select the one with the bracket before and after your file name. Just select on that. Aha! And it shows already. So you realize that it's a bit off, right? Just right click, transform, fit to screen, done. And it's only in preview now. To send it out program, just press one of your transitions tool. Yep, then it's out there already. Okay, let's move on to video. How you want to import video? Just now I talked about the source, right? So just click on this plus button again. Then you just add your media source. This is how you add your video and audio. So I'm just going to call it pastor announcement for now because that's the file we want to use. Okay, so after naming your media source, right, you just click on browse, then go to the folder where you downloaded the thing lah. So and click on the third one, number 3, announcements. We're gonna use that. Okay, so once you press, it will auto turn on the eye already. Then you can just press one of your transitions. Then it will show. Okay, so something about videos, right? As long as it's not live feed, right? As long as it's like pre-recorded, all these like video files, you realize that there's no preview for it, even though when you turn on the eye. Yeah, I think it's like that. It cannot be helped. So just remember, once you turn on your eye, there's nothing to show, but once you press on your transition, it will go out already. Okay, so stuff like that. Okay, so you realize that video is playing and you see this audio mixer section. There is actually audio coming in. You see this level meter. Then this is where you adjust your volume. So if I bring down my volume, you see this thing gets softer. When I max it, it gets louder. It's hitting a bit of the rate. So, but you realize there's no audio coming in lah. Basically, once you see something moving here, right, it's actually sending out to your program already. Your viewers can actually hear it, but you cannot hear it. So this is what you need to do. Click the gear beside your level. Click the settings, then go into advanced audio properties. Okay, then you see under this audio monitoring section, there are 3 options. First one, monitor off, which is the selection now. Monitor off is basically whatever you're hearing is called monitor lah. You're monitoring whatever that is being sent out. Okay, just like checking like that. So monitor off, but your audience are hearing. So your program is actually sending it out. So monitor off, you cannot hear, but audience can hear. Monitor only, that means you can hear, but audience cannot hear. You see it in the bracket, mute output. That means your output, you are not sending out to the to your audience, so they can only see the image. You can see pastor's mouth moving, but no sound. What you want to do is click on monitor and output. Okay, so just click on that, then you can hear and audience can hear. Yep, so once you click on that, right? Once you click on your
各位弟兄姐妹们平安，现在有几项事项要跟大家报告。感谢主的恩典，让我们今天第一次在
audience can hear it as well. Yep. One downside is you have to do it for every source. So let's say if you have 3 video sources, 3 media sources, you got to go in there, click 3 times, monitor and output, monitor, output, monitor, output. Okay, so if you see it here, right, moving and you don't hear it, then that's something you need to check first. Yeah. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is still under video, but something to take note is that OBS doesn't store your file for you. So for example, right, what I mean is like, you know how when you import pictures into PPT, if you delete the picture in your file, PPT will still have your picture there. But in this case, OBS doesn't do that. It doesn't store any data for you. It only helps you link your pathway. So for example, my pathway to this 牧师 announcement will be in my desktop, then my folder, then finally the video file itself. So let's say I decide to move this out. I decide to move my announcement out, right, to here, just by like that, outside here. If I restart my OBS, I realize that you see, once I press pastor announcement, it doesn't play because the pathway is corrupted in a way. It's lost lah. It lost its way already because your pathway is OBS with Cavell, then session 1, then announcement. But here, OBS with Cavell, session 1, right? Then it cannot find the announcement here already. It's missing because you already drag it here. So something to take note is try to arrange your files such that everything is in one folder lah. Yeah, so that you there won't be tendencies of it losing pathways and stuff. So I'm just gonna relink it.
各位弟兄姐妹们平安。现在有
So last section that I want to talk about will be audio. Audio is actually the same as video. Let's take a look. So let's open a new one. Just press plus, then go into media source. Then you can just call it background music for now, or whatever you want to call. Then you can use my song to avoid copyright. You can just use my song. It's number 6, 主任的拣选. Yeah. So same thing. Once you press, you cannot actually preview lah for audio. So you got to click cut. Then you will see it moving. So same thing. Go into advanced audio properties. Under audio monitoring, click monitor and update. Just click on the eye and cut it. Yeah, very simple.